I'd like to begin with a greeting of peace, Om Shanti. And we had some very lovely singing at the beginning, and so perhaps we can have a little bit of chanting now, because it'll get your energy high again, because maybe the cold has made the energy become a little bit low. Okay, take a deep breath, and then when you let it out to the sound of Om. Breathe in, out, Thank you. When we say Om, we're coming back to our original identity, the identity of the inner being, the soul. And usually, as a term of greeting, we add another word onto this word Om, and that is Shanti. And Shanti means peace. And so my real identity that we've forgotten about completely is that I am a being of peace. I was fascinated by the talks given by my three brothers earlier. The recycling of every atom, that was fascinating. But also the question about the future, and is there a future? And the beautiful injection of the spirit of South America. And so I feel that all of you are now prepared for the things that I'm going to share, which are the things of the spiritual dimension. I come from an organization called the Brama Kumaris Spiritual University, which was founded with a vision 72 years ago. The vision was a vision of a better world, the vision of a world of truth, of love, of justice. And I hold that vision absolutely today. Even though there may seem to be dark clouds around, yet my conviction, my motivation, and my life is to be able to make sure that I move towards that vision, and I give a little finger of cooperation in making that vision come true. I still believe it will happen. I don't just hope that it will happen. I believe passionately that it has to happen. I agree with the comments of one of my brothers who said that we are at a threshold, a very, very important turning point. On one side, we have to do nothing, apathy, and we just carry on the way things have always been, and we'll hit the wall, that's for sure. On the other side, we can become aware of the identity of the eternal being that we are, and use our creative energy to be able to recreate ourselves and also recreate this planet of ours. If there's responsibility, it works in both ways. In the sense that if today we are acknowledging that we are responsible for having created the mess that we find ourselves in, well, that's the first step of responsibility. But then the next step of responsibility, the ability to respond in an appropriate way. I accept that this is what we've done, but now what is my response going to be? How can I respond to whatever it is that's happening? Just as we were hearing about the recycling of matter, I'd like to bring in another element, and that is the whole subject of mind. And yes, whatever happens within matter goes round in a circle, but equally, the human element is a very important element, and we are not just matter, but we're also mind, we're also spirit. And once the human spirit awakens to its own inner awareness, recognizes the self, and then, with that recognition, channels its energy in a new and positive direction, there is a recycling that happens, both within our own inner awareness, but also within this world of ours. If we have been the cause of problems here in this human world, and for sure we have, we can also provide the solutions. The power of human thought has been able to achieve both amazing things, but also dreadful things. That's the capacity of the human mind, to be able to create, but also to destroy. And if today I come back to the recognition of who I am, I, the spiritual being, am not only a being of peace, but I'm also a being of love. Do you agree?
Yes.
Good, excellent. That's good. Sometimes we see so much that's contrary that we begin to wonder. But yet, the original state of the human spirit is that of peace, not violence. Is that of love, not aggression. And even more interestingly, especially in these current times, the original state of the human being is that of truth. Do I believe it? And if I believe it, am I willing to put my belief into practice? That's all it takes. It takes for us to realize who we are, and with that awareness and recognition, with the power of our thoughts, we can begin to influence change and bring about a transformation. But in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, I can't say the politicians have to change, the government has to change, the UN has to change, or the activists have to change. I can only say, I have to change myself. And so accepting responsibility means to accept responsibility first for myself and changing myself. And that can be the contribution that we can make to this world. We heard about consumerism. There are two things that go together completely: consumerism and materialism. And the word consume is interesting. This is what human beings have become, creatures that consume, and that's it, without any concern or care for others. The consumer society started when we began to think of ourselves as matter, and we forgot about spirit. And so we became materialistic. Everything had to be defined in terms of our material existence, our identity, everything that we are, our possessions, our position. This is how we've identified ourselves for quite a long while now. it hasn't been just a 50 years or a 100-year process, it's been for a long time.